purpose of this report is to conduct an economic analysis of why airlines have the ability to charge a variety of different customers differently for the same ticket. The following report studies the various aspects of the exchange process, the factors that can affect market outcomes over time, and the welfare implications of the exchange outcome, and whether there is a scope for public policy intervention. Furthermore, the various aspects that airlines take into consideration when determining a ticket price will be examined and diagrammed on graph to demonstrate understanding of demand and supply factors, and to illustrate the effect on price and aid explanation. Market structures and agents involved in the exchange process can be taken into considerations when examining the way in which airlines sets their ticket prices. Market can be split into four structures, which are monopoly, oligopoly, imperfect, and perfect competitions. The type of market structure being discussed in regards to the airline pricing strategy is an oligopoly. An oligopoly possessed the main characteristics of a large firm controlling the large proportion of market share, allowing for easy manipulations of price and high level of competitions. All firms in the market sell similar products, meaning that price is determining factors for consumers. An oligopoly operates similarly to monopoly, as a standard price tends to exist amongst firms and is hard to prove as collusion. When putting the market for airplanes ticket under examination, it can be identified that market output is controlled by large firms, all possessing and selling homogeneous products, with firm playing the role of a price maker with the intention to maximize profit, being able to influence price based on global phenomena and other factors such as seasonality. The high level of competitions within the market means that there is individual movements from firms hold potential to influence the entire market. For example, if an individual firms were to raise their price, other firms would react to this movement and potentially raise theirs in a justifiable manner, and vice versa. Participants in the exchange process are buyers, travelers, and sellers, airlines. Buyers playing the role of price takers and sellers price makers. However, there are ways in which buyers can potentially affect the price of their tickets, for example, buying tickets in advance or away from busy holiday periods. For every product, there is an individual market where interactions between buyer and sellers determine how much is to be produced and how much they should be valued. The situation where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are balanced is called equilibrium, and no surplus or shortage is experienced. Equilibrium price and quantity depend on the positions of the supply and demand curves, and every time that one changes, a new equilibrium is set, resulting a new price and quantity exchanged. In the market for airplane tickets, demand shifts can caused by a variety of factors, but predominantly revolve around changes in consumer behavior and circumstances. For example, timing of ticket purchase, spontaneously or in advance. Shift in supply in this market can be contributed to by many factors including fuel price, seats remaining in the plane, and possible surcharges. Jet fuel is the most important factor when determining the cost of an airline ticket. All prices are never stable. Thus, this makes it difficult to have a stable price for jet fuel. Therefore, prices for the same ticket or flight will always change over time. The following graph shows what would occur if oil prices went up. There is a shift in the supply curve to the left, which means an increase in the price of airline tickets. There is also a movement up the demand curve as customers are less willing to pay for the tickets. Another factor that can affect airline pricing is the timing of the purchase. This affects prices because different travelers will have different purchasing needs and wants. The type of travelers can be categorized into two different groups, the business traveler and leisure traveler. The first graph shows how leisure travelers are affected by pricing. Because they buy tickets in advance, they can get bookings in cheaper classes, therefore tickets are cheaper. As tickets are booked early, there are more available, which increase supplies, and shifts to the right, which leads to the decrease in price. The second graph illustrates how business travelers are affected by pricing. Because of their flights are more expensive and spontaneous and closer to departure of date, there are only bookings left in more expensive classes. Thus, tickets are expensive. This shifts the supply to the left, causing the price to increase. Adding to the timing of the purchase, this could also include making bookings during times where most people needed a flight, such as during Christmas. During these times, many people may not care about the price of the flight as there isn't flexibility because it is a specific date that people need to make bookings in. The following graph shows demand has increased with a shift to the right, And the price has also movement up along the curve as the price will increase in response to increased demand. The high cost of the upper-class airline tickets are what earns airline companies most their revenue. If the airlines cannot fill these seats to the entirety in the sufficient time before the flights, they are forced to increase the price of the economy tickets being sold close to the departure time of the flight. This is significant amount of ticket prices being increased considering the most airplane tickets are sold within days of the flight. This leads to the middle and lower income earners to struggle to afford these economy airlines price when they need to buy an airline ticket quickly for whatever circumstances they might need one, let alone affording the expensive cost of the upper class airline tickets. As for public policy, these lower and middle income earners should be able to afford general airline tickets prior to flight departure or without abruptly disrupting in their financial situation. So therefore, a public policy intervention towards the airline would be appropriate so their economy prices can be decreased prior to the flight. So support middle and lower income earners commute over long distance. However, this will include the airline losing revenue due to the cut in airline prices. Over time, the airline prices are increasing due to fuel costs. This will mean over time, lower and middle class income earners will not be able to afford this increase in airline prices, let alone the price due to late booking and lack of business and first class purchasers. This will lead to decrease in economy class ticket sales, which means airlines will be losing money due to increase in fuel price and lack of ticket purchases. Also, this will mean that lower and middle class income earners will travel, confining them to their home, enabling them to travel for business or leisure. Overall, it is almost becoming unaffordable for low and middle class income earners to afford flight tickets due to lack of higher class tickets and increase for oil market. A public policy intervention could assist the price and enable lower and middle class income earners to afford flight tickets, but that can jeopardize the airline chances of generating profit, leading to less flights, poor quality service, and more compact and uncomfortable economy seats. Therefore, a public policy intervention is unlikely to assist the lower middle income earners to afford airline tickets. Global phenomena such as rising and falling in oil prices and timing of ticket purchase always have implications for airplane tickets. Travelers will typically enjoy a lower ticket price if they travel during lull time season and avoid peak holiday seasons. This is due to the varying level of demands. Changing ticket prices over time pose implications for welfare, meaning that they will adverse effects for low, middle and high income earners. Naturally, factors leading to higher than standard ticket prices will negatively affect low and middle income earners as the increase in price represents a large proportion of their disposable incomes, hence having the potentials to render travelers unaffordable and vice versa for falling prices. Naturally, rising and falling ticket prices do not pose implications for high income earners. Public policy has the potential to combat the effect of rising ticket prices and enable lower and middle class income earners to avoid flight tickets but create a trade-off between equity and efficiency, as ticket would become more equitable but efficiency is compromised due to airlines not earning as high as profit on each ticket sold without interventions.